Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is yet another Eurovision 2026 related video here on my channel, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about all of the semi-final first rehearsals that have now concluded in Vienna ahead of this year's upcoming edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which, as we all know, will take place next week at the time of recording this video you're watching now. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below, and as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. There are a few things I wish to discuss first before getting into the main point of this video you're watching. First things first, you may well have seen something I put up on my posts page here on YouTube recently regarding two particular things. Number one, would you believe it, another laptop related issue has become evident to me very recently. Some of you will recall just over a month ago I had a battery related issue. I needed to take this laptop for repairs. Those repairs happened, all was fine, but over the past 2 weeks or so I have noticed something else. It is somewhat infrequent but fairly annoying, and if it becomes more of a problem, then somebody else will need to get their hands on this again and repair it as best they can. I won't go into the specific details. It's just this very annoying, and I personally think very minor thing. But I'm mentioning it here because, who knows, it might well play a part in my content over the next week or so. If you see any flickers or indeed more edits in my videos, you know why. Secondly, I have also been suffering for probably a year and a half now with jaw pain on my left-hand side and very bad headaches. And unfortunately, again, within the past 2 weeks or so, the jaw pain and the headaches have become a little bit more frequent and a little bit more severe. If, at some point over the next 2 weeks, I plan to sit down and film a video and this pain is very much present and frustrating, and honestly, it is terrible. I would not wish this pain on anybody. If it occurs, I will have to not film at all because it is just really, really painful. So I'm just giving you a heads up about that. Now all of that rambling stuff is out of the way, it's time to focus on the semi-final first rehearsals, which have all taken place over the past couple of days at the Wiener Stadthalle. I am going to be clicking backwards and forwards, so do bear with me. I am filming this video on a bit of a whim. There's not really a great deal to say. With the second rehearsals, we will get more information about the presentation of each performance, and of course we will get that brief video footage as well. It is my intention, at some point in the very near future, to talk about those second rehearsals, and indeed the rehearsal footage recap video that will surface online before too long. Anyway, I'm rambling again. I am on the Eurovision Instagram page, and I also have some notes here in front of me taken from the Eurovision Reddit page about all of the semi-final first rehearsals. So let's begin with Moldova, who will get things going a week today. Song 1 in the first semi-final, Viva Moldova by Satoshi. Looking at the photographs, and we don't have too many, and I should say, because a lot of people don't do this, if you are using these photographs, always credit the photographers. So Satoshi is wearing a blue and white outfit, rather baggy blue trousers, 373 written on his top, which I think is the phone country code for Moldova. Don't quote me on that. Aliona Moon, the former Moldovan representative back in 2013, is on stage with him. I think she is this woman here, in a red dress and black boots and blonde hair. There is a drummer on a podium. There's a guitarist. I think that might be another guitarist or a backing singer off to one side. And we have Welcome to Moldova on the backdrop behind them all. It says here, Satoshi is adorned with rows of chainmail on his shoulders, draped over a blinged out sports top in royal blue. The choice of accessories has caused what you could call a chain reaction. Those chains have extended to his band and his co-performers, with every outfit accented with a touch of shiny metal. You'll be familiar with his deep appreciation for Japanese culture if you've been getting to know him since his national final win. He's ensured that this is on full display here with a cute and colourful backdrop that viewers will no doubt find adorable. Really, what we have here, and I'll be saying this a lot for a lot of the participants with these rehearsals, it is what we had at the national final elevated a little bit. Even though this stage is of a reasonable size, looking at the photograph here, the whole thing still looks a bit empty to me with regards to this performance. But on the whole, we know that this is going to go through, and we know that this is going to get a hefty amount of points, especially in the public vote next week. So I have no concerns. And moving on to song 2, this is Sweden, Felicia My System, a possible winner of this year's competition, who knows. And again, what we have here is the national final performance elevated ever so slightly. I've said it before and I'll say it again, you all know this too. What we have at Melfest is usually Eurovision ready. So what they've done here is they have done a copy-paste situation. Felicia's performance in Stockholm several weeks ago was perfectly fine. They have taken it and transplanted it onto the Vienna stage. She is wearing a sparkly, deep red coloured dress by the looks of it. The mask is on her face. She has dancers. There's lasers, there's choreo, there's energy. It says here, yes, she is dressed in black and sparkling red. The performance opens with her getting the wind machine treatment, parting a cloud of smoke and revealing her standing on stage. We also have that moment where she leans out of the screen and into the audience. And there is a moment in the second verse where we see fighter Felicia literally battling away lasers with her bare hands before she tames them into doing her bidding. Before long, those lasers are framing her poses so that she can look extra stunning for audiences at home. This diva knows her lighting. Yeah, it's looking very polished, it's looking very slick. We all knew it would. Moving on to Croatia. This is looking really fine indeed, and I've got very high hopes for this next Tuesday night because very recently when I was going through the semi-final one lineup, I thought to myself, if there is going to be a surprise NQ, Croatia has it stamped all over it, if you see what I mean. I did have a few concerns. The national final performance was okay, it wasn't bang on the money. It looks to me as though they've elevated this significantly. It's looking really fine. Lelek Andromeda. So we have all the women on stage wearing red and white cape-like outfits. We have a smoke machine. We have patterns on the backdrop. Very atmospheric. We have flames. One of the women is in a white outfit. The others are dressed in red and white. Yeah, they're looking very fierce. What does it say here? Not long into their performance, we get a stunning shot that really makes use of the catwalk leading from the green room up to the stage, and it's the first time viewers will get to see the catwalk element properly pop. It serves as a dramatic presentation of the Croatian group. The striking fashion choice returns for Vienna, but this time they've woven a deep blood red colour into their scheme. It's a chilling visual and therefore a superb stylistic choice for a song teeming with this much drama. The performance takes the viewer from a mystical cave to an enchanting forest, closing the performance by pulling us through a wormhole at such high speed. All in all, looking really great, and I'm excited to see the brief video footage within the next couple of days. Looking like a pretty sure qualifier now, whereas a few days ago I was a little bit more on the fence. Moving on to Greece, Akilas Ferto, possibly the winner of the public vote in the final. He's wearing an animal print look, bright orange, very garish. He's got the beanie hat, the big puffy sleeves, the shorts. He's wearing big, fluffy, luminous orange boots. In this image here, he is standing on top of what appears to be a box, and that must almost certainly be during that more somber, tender moment in the final third. Very powerful. There's also going to be some pyrotechnics and indeed some computer game graphic type stuff going on as well, sort of what we saw in the music video. It says here he's dressed stylishly in an orange and black palette. The furry boots are out in force, as is the cute kitty cat hat with the little ears. Just when the audience thinks they are getting to know Achilles, everything changes. He stops, removes his funky shades, steps out of character, and addresses his mother in an emotional display. It doesn't really say much else on Reddit, it has to be said. We've just been taken right inside a video game. It's clearly going to stand out. It's looking fairly good. But certainly we need the whole package to see if it's really a contender for victory or not. Then we have Portugal, Bandidos Tocante with Rosa. I don't know if they'll be wearing these outfits on the night. I doubt it. Very casually dressed here, all standing in a row. We have a white rose on the backdrop behind them. We know the harmonies are going to be very tight. There is almost nothing to say about this. But it is a dark horse. Like a lineup of football players singing their national anthem before a trophy-deciding match, you can tell that Bandidos Tocante are just as proud to be showcasing their beloved cante alentejano genre as the world watches. They are momentarily joined by a sixth member. Their violinist is back and contributing a magical moment to proceedings, enhancing the soothing tone that's already been set by the band. The performance ends with the visuals on the screen behind the band springing into life. This is when the song blooms, literally and figuratively speaking, and there's not a thorn in sight. Yeah, there's very, very little to say here. I'm sure it's going to be a lovely performance, but is it going to stand out enough? I don't know. Moving on to Georgia. Yes, conflicted feelings on this one. It's the three-piece group Bzikebi, former Junior Eurovision winners with On Replay, and they have channeled their Junior Eurovision performance from years ago in their outfits, black and yellow, going for this wasp-type look. On the backdrop, they resemble... Well, I think the Reddit page said that they resembled sort of cyborgs. Yes, I can see that. It's very sci-fi. For some reason, it's reminding me of Blade Runner. I don't really know why. They're clearly going for a very dynamic look. There's pyro, there's lasers, flashing lights galore. There's going to be some choreo similar to what we had in the music video. It's very striking, but it also feels very clinical. Perhaps a bit too clinical for me. I don't really know what to make of this, but there we are. It says here, their Hornet-themed high fashion has understandably had quite the glow-up since their Junior Eurovision win back in 2008. They are wearing yellow catsuits cinched in with black striped PVC. It's giving superhero. Performing behind the group is a second iteration of the trophy-winning trio. Meet Cyborg Bzikebi. They may look intimidating, but they're here to help our Bzikebi babes. These cyborg overlords are surging the pop stars with power. Okay, great, because this song needed a real kick up the backside. As much as it's fairly up-tempo, the song is sort of a borderline qualifier, certainly for me and perhaps you as well, and many other Eurovision fans. So the fact that they are going quite big with the visuals is a good thing, I would say. However, as I said a moment ago, there's something quite clinical and cold about this, and maybe it's not going to be quite as dynamic as it wants to be, if you see what I mean. Moving on to Finland, the favourites to win. Petter Parkkonen, Linda Lampenius with Liekin Heitin. In the confessional box, Petter, has got some things he'd like to get off his chest, and this all-new open top of his is going to make that an easy breezy process. Linda Lampenius has lightened her colour palette. Her dress, similar to what you'll have seen at UMK, is now a striking silver. It makes her slow descent towards the burning confessional box even more otherworldly to the eye. We also see Linda sprint back right at the big climax of the song, and the audience in the arena will be able to watch as our heroic violinist races towards the back of the stage to be reunited with her duet partner. There, she's lifted up onto the abandoned orchestra, seating for a final showdown with Petter. It brings him to his knees, and everything goes up in flames. Really, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is looking very promising, and what else is there to say? Definitely it's going to get a lot of love next Tuesday and indeed next Saturday in the grand final. We then move on to Montenegro. Very high hopes for this one. It says here she's dressed in a black corset. This is Tamara Živković with Nova Zora. She's dressed in a black corset, bejewelled in black gems and topped off with a black rough colour. Her makeup, which I definitely noticed, is seriously fierce. That face is painted, and the lipstick shade she's chosen for the day is also black. She's joined by 4 shadowy figures. She then contorts herself into a standing position to really let the audience have it. This is where the show really begins. Her dancers are decked out in skin-tight black and mirroring their performer in the rough collar department, but theirs are in contrasting white. The performance is split into 3 parts again, as it was at Monty Song all those months ago. There's intricate choreography, ranging from the maniacal to the impressively synced, and the stage around them is bathed in dark red hues, complemented by sporadic shades of blue. There's thunder, there's lightning, there's molten lava. It's attention-grabbing stuff all round. This is looking really great. She really does look very fierce here. Big black hair, this leathery type outfit. The photographs don't show much, but this is going to be really, really great, I'm sure, next Tuesday, and hopefully Montenegro will go through. We then have Vanilla Ninja. 21 years after they represented Switzerland, they're back for Estonia. This is too epic to be true. I have to say, this really doesn't look too bad. The vanilla white outfits that the trio are wearing have also been given an upgrade. The clothes fit the cool vibes of the song, emphasising the girls' rock credentials. It was clear that the Vanilla Ninja Vibe Queens are going to be doing some excellent interaction with the audience once those live shows start. They are going to hype the crowd up, hand claps are encouraged, and there is a pure pyro finish. Yes, Lena Kurma, the lead singer, is here. White skirt, white half sleeves, gloves type thing going on, belts all over her. We have this gold, electric looking scene behind them on the backdrop. The drummer is there as well. It's similar to what we had at the national final, but elevated ever so slightly. And I believe as I speak to you now, Estonia are now expected to be a qualifier, which is very interesting. Then we have Israel, who've only got to turn up and fart, and they're probably going to get 300 points from the public in the final. This is Noram Betan with Michelle. Very little to say here. They are throwing everything into the staging once again. He's wearing a black leather jacket over a black silk shirt, black leather trousers. He's joined by dancers who are in these black and white outfits, and they resemble Cruella de Vil's hair. That's the first thing I thought of, anyway. There's this huge diamond-like prop on stage as well. Some choreography. He's going down the catwalk. Yes, it is what it is. And, he's beckoned out from his giant diamond by a soul dancer. Viewers might recognise them from the music video. The quintet of dancers are wearing leather short jumpsuits that are dual in tone, one side cream, one side burgundy. I suppose. Looks black in these photographs. Anyway, those dancers stay close to him throughout. Yeah, in terms of props, this is going to stand out a great deal. It is what it is. Not too much else to say about it. We move on to Belgium. There's not a great deal to say about this one either. This is a Cecilia with dancing on the ice. She's got 4 male dancers. The outfits here I'm not sure about. It's like they've been partially destroyed in the wash. She appears to be wearing one tall silver heel, it looks like, but she's not wearing one on her other leg. The dancers are all in white, sort of ripped sleeves and everything. We have this sort of orange glow behind her. She's wearing a cape at one point, which I think is disposed of quite quickly. There's fake snow everywhere. It says here, yes, tiny crystals on the floor beneath her feet. Something like that. Laced up leather is a theme, from the dress to the boots, or rather just one boot, so it's not a heel, paired with a silver pump to the over-the-shoulder armour that she's wearing. The latter item has got long, sharp crystals jutting out of it, completing the Ice Queen image she's created for herself. The elements play a big part in the performance too, with a battle between fire and ice going on throughout. On the third run-through, we get the snow machine turned on, with Esila now singing under snowfall at the start of her performance. It looks okay, but I can't help but feel as though once I've seen the whole thing next week, and if this doesn't qualify, I certainly might be saying to myself, this was really lacking something. Anyway, it's not that bad a song. Moving on to Lithuania. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I just feel as though, yes, it's trying to be artistic and quite cool, but it's very dark, and it might be quite jarring for a lot of first-time viewers. It's Lion Seeker with Solo Quiero Más, and so on. So what it says here, whether he's being engulfed by a giant hooded cloak or cutting a spiky figure in a gothically tailored suit, he exudes style. It's a dramatic performance, and halfway through his theatrics are amplified to a level of high camp. English language subtitles are briefly introduced. And then we have an outfit reveal, and that's all there really is to say about this. He's wearing the silver makeup again. There's a bit of a smoke machine. It really is quite dark. I don't know whether people are going to understand this or not, but it's okay, and the song really isn't too bad. Lithuania does have some voting pals, and the juries might really appreciate what this is trying to achieve as well. Let me just flick my plug on here, and we shall continue, because next up is San Marino. Well, I think they're giving themselves a fighting chance. This is Senate and Boy George with Superstar. We have dancers in tight silver outfits. Senate herself is in a tight, shimmering silver outfit. Very Disco Stew from The Simpsons, I would say. On stage, Boy George wearing one of his trademark hats. We have other dancers, pyro, lasers, flashing lights. San Marino's entire GDP has gone on this performance, it would appear. We also have what appears to be two very large razor blade looking structures either side of the duo, with mirrors and reflective stuff going on all over them. They look like razor blades to me. It is what it is. It says right here, she looks absolutely radiant in a mirrorball themed jumpsuit, but she might change her outfit for the first semi-final. The staging is so camp, even the spotlights have been programmed to shine in rainbow. They're shining on them, they're shining across the stage, the audience. The stage is packed full of chrome and mirror too. And at the end of the performance, they walk down the catwalk hand in hand. Senate doing much of the work here, Boy George appearing for his 2 or 3 lines, and that's about it. There we go. I mean, I don't think this is going through, but based on the photos, it doesn't really look too bad. Maybe a bit tacky, but not too bad. Then we have Poland. Alicja is finally getting her chance on the Eurovision stage, having been in the Polish national selection a couple of years ago and not winning, and of course the pandemic kiboshed her chances in 2020. This is Prey. Similar outfit to what she wore at the national final. She looks fabulous. There is a large prop on stage, a bit like Armenia a few years ago, but I was reminded of Mariette in Melfest a couple of years ago. It's this slanting platform and a couple of dancers dressed in white and black throwing themselves off of it. It's as simple as that. It's looking fairly simplistic otherwise. It says here, it transforms into something very special, apparently. The camera work shines when the prop is in use. There are some really incredible shots. To me, this is a classic example of our song is not that remarkable, so let's have a big-ass prop to really boost our chances of going through. Still a borderline qualifier for me at this stage with a week to go. She's super stylish. Gleaming white shirts. So sorry, the dancers are super stylish. Gleaming white shirts tucked into high-waisted, wide-legged black trousers with a cummerbund, ensuring that the transition is seamless. And, yeah, her outfit is very similar. Great singer. The song doesn't really do much for me. It's not looking too bad. And then we have Serbia, Lavina Kraimene, closing the first semi-final. This looks very atmospheric. You can tell I'm running out of steam. The lights are low for this one. Smoke machine, dark blue lighting, all very mysterious and moody. Certainly the attire reflects that as well. It says here, the fur-trimmed cloak of the lead singer is now adorned with oversized metal embellishments. His all-new shoulder armour is so big he can fit 2 swords into it. I think he uses one of the swords as a sort of mic stand. This sword has been stabbed. One of the swords has been stabbed down into a rock, giving it a platform to serve as a mic stand for Luca. The nails are longer. The singer staggers to his feet from a starting position of being slumped on the stage floor. There's loads of pyro. And, yeah, from the sounds of it, it's the national final performance, elevated a touch. It's looking pretty good. I'm sure it will sound pretty good. Now, I'm not going to rank these because what's the point? We don't have any videos. But based on the few images we do have, Croatia's looking good. Estonia's looking pretty good. I'm excited to see all of Montenegro's performance. And I think Serbia and Finland and Sweden are also going to stand out significantly, for me personally. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully this video turned out okay. Nearly half an hour talking about that. Ridiculous. I will be back, all being well, to do the same again, but regarding the semi-final 2 participants. And before you know it, we will have that recap video with brief snippets of the rehearsals. And, of course, the automatic qualifiers, they'll be taken to the stage at some point too. And, of course, next week, all being well, loads of videos from me, because that's when the contest will finally be upon us. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.